Pause for just a moment. How did Judge Kevin Mullins end up staring down the barrel of a gun, held by the very sheriff he once called a friend? To answer that, we have to go back. This is an unusual and gripping true crime case because everything was caught on camera. We already know the answers to the questions who, when, and where. But one important question still remains unanswered. Why? What could have driven Sheriff Mickey Stines to turn against his longtime friend, Judge Kevin Mullins? Before we try to answer that question, let's take a look at what the cameras captured. Sheriff Mickey Stines and Judge Mullins were together in the judge's chambers earlier that day. Moments before lunch, the sheriff left alone and walked out of the courthouse. At this point, there were no visible signs of tension between Sheriff Stines and Judge Mullins. The rest of the group followed soon after, heading to a nearby restaurant, just like they had done many times before. Not long after, the sheriff joined them. During the lunch, witnesses later recalled hearing Judge Mullins tell Sheriff Stines, "I believe we're going to have to meet and talk later in my office." No one thought much of it at the time, but that conversation would never happen the way anyone expected, leaving alone just as he had arrived. Together with Pastor Michael Clark, he helped deliver several boxes of food that afternoon. The rest of the group later returned to the courthouse, where Judge Mullins still had a case scheduled for that day. Not long after, Sheriff Stines returned with Pastor Clark from the delivery and walked into the judge's chambers. The sheriff signals with his hand, asking everyone else to leave the room. He closes the door behind them and takes a seat across from Judge Mullins. The video has no audio, so it's impossible to know what the two men are saying. At first, the exchange appears calm. Then, Sheriff Stines looks down at his phone, attempting to make a video call. But after several failed tries, he grows frustrated. He asks Judge Mullins for his phone. As he dials a number, it seems he realizes that the same call had already been made from the judge's device. That's when his demeanor changes. The sheriff draws his weapon and steps toward the judge. Judge Mullins begins to rise, but Stines orders him to sit. He locks the door. The judge, now cornered, doesn't resist. He appears to try reasoning with the sheriff, hoping to calm him down with words rather than force. The sheriff leaves the chambers, then turns back, re-enters, to make sure it's over. People inside the courthouse heard the gunshots. No one knew what was happening, but in fear for their lives, they began to run, leaving the building in panic. Moments later, a security officer, or possibly a courthouse employee, discovered the horrifying scene inside the judge's chambers. Meanwhile, Sheriff Stines calmly walked out of the building. After leaving the judge's chambers, Sheriff Stines didn't run. He returned to the hallway and turned himself into the responding officers, the very same men he had worked alongside for years. Responding officers kept their distance as the sheriff calmly set his weapon down. They then moved in and handcuffed him without resistance. Friends and colleagues of the sheriff, shocked by what had just happened, tried to calm him down. They urged the responding officers not to hurt him, still struggling to believe what they had witnessed. Witnesses described Sheriff Stines as disoriented, almost detached from reality. He appeared calm, but distant, as if unaware of what had just taken place around him. Those who knew him said it was as if he wasn't fully there, like something inside him had broken. It appeared that Sheriff Stines was in the midst of a severe psychological breakdown. He seemed deeply paranoid, convinced that his fellow officers, some of them longtime friends, were going to hurt or even kill him.
I don't want to go out in the Letcher County Jail. I don't want to go out and get in the vehicle, guys. No offense.
Well, at some point you have to do that.
We'll figure something out.
I understand it. How about a room right here for right now?
Yeah, we're just doing a room right here. My body cam's Mickey, you know me. I would never do anything to you or hurt. Is that what you're worried? Is that
multiple officer escort? Because at some point you're leaving this building.
Is that what you're worried about? I want as many officers as you can get to take me somewhere. Well, downstairs to the jail here. We can make that. Downstairs to the jail here.
That's not your request. You can't make that request. Because we're the sheriff of Letcher County, we would put you at risk by taking you down there.
They will put me in a single cell. I've seen it done with officials in the past before that's committed crimes. I can be in protective custody down there in a single cell out front.
You feel safe in the Letcher County Jail?
If you feel safe in the Letcher County Jail, I mean, we can talk to everybody about
that's
this.
fine. We're trying to keep your best interest.
We was just worried about you.
I don't feel safe in population, but they would keep me in
single.
Single. I'll stay in single cell.
Well, you know, if you feel safe there, then we'll try to make that happen. Okay.
Let me run that by your supervisor.
Okay.
And if that's we're trying to protect your interest by not taking you down there.
Yeah.
But if that's something you're comfortable with, then we can look into it. Okay. Let's see.
I just hate to get in a vehicle with. Where are you going to take me to then? And who's going to take me?
I would take you.
We don't know that yet. But you have to leave this courthouse.
Mickey, I would take you. You know me. We've known each other our whole lives. You know I'm not going to do anything to you. What's going on? What happened? Where was your daughter at? You was asking about her.
The sheriff seemed convinced he was being led to his own execution. He pleaded with his fellow officers, begging them not to do this to him.
Come on, guys.
No, you're.
Come on.
Mickey. Nothing.
There's two body cams right, Mickey. It's all
older guys.
You know. So that will look the guy and show you that it's running. Look.
Come on.
The pole out there.
We've known each other a long time. Look, it is recorded.
And
that one's recorded.
Mickey, like I said, we've known each other. I ain't gonna let nothing happen to you, okay? Oh yeah, let's slow down. What
in the hallway of the courthouse.
Yeah, there's people here. We'll make sure.
I mean, there's people in that room. There's people in that room.
We'll make sure you're okay. So what's the problem?
I'll get another one. I'll put one on me. You won't let me, okay? But I can't be there.
I don't feel safe. Come on.
Listen,
I've worked with you all for years, man.
Listen.
yeah.
Here, I'll tell these boys to stand in front of the front door so we don't have no witnesses.
Guys, now give me a fair trial. Come on, make sure I get somewhere safe and give me a fair trial.
You will. But, you know, we got to know the information, what led to this. And you know that because there's a lot more to this story than what just happened, I'm sure.
Oh, wow.
So we want to hear it.
If I can see my daughter in person here.
Before you leave. Is that what you want?
At the jail.
At the jail.
Yep. At the jail, through the screen. on the phone, I want to see my daughter in person. And then after that, I'll tell you everything at that jail.
Well,
in front of cameras, video recording.
Where's your daughter at? Where's your daughter? How do we track her down? Where's she at?
She was at LCC earlier. She's at LCC.
What is,
I talked to her.
So now, Mickey, I want to kind of, for your daughter. Let's talk about this for your daughter, okay? If she finds out that her dad is being arrested for shooting the judge, and she's in high school. I didn't know how old she was, so I didn't know. So she's in high school. What is she, a senior? That's going to be hard.
She will want to see me. She will want. Now, come on, guys, be fair to me now.
I am being fair. That's the only thing I just wanted you to think about that. How is she 18?
Be fair to me now, guys.
Well, hold on. Is she 18?
Be fair to me now.
No, I'm asking you.
Come on, I want to see my daughter in person.
Is she 18?
I want to see my daughter in person.
How
You got a
old is she,
kid?
Nikki?
Because if
I
she's
do have a kid. I've got grandkids.
I
yeah,
got 5 grandkids.
yeah.
5 grandkids.
Listen, Mickey.
I
But
just want to see my daughter. Man.
if she's not 18, we're going to ask your wife. We have to ask your wife if it's okay. You know that. Is she 18?
Christine and LaShawna both said they were both on their way here. When
Okay.
They were in here. There was all kinds of people in here just running around, chaotic. So
Okay.
how
So-
am I going to tell you what happened? Just be fair to me.
Well,
don't beat on me.
We ain't gonna beat
Don't
on
kill me. Don't stab me. Don't torture me. Nothing like that.
Nothing like that will happen.
The sheriff was visibly terrified for his life. He kept pleading with his former colleagues, begging them not to kill him.
Come on now, guys.
Here.
Come on now.
You're good. Come on. That's right here.
Don't let them do this to me now, guys. Come on now.
Nikki, we ain't doing nothing to you.
Nobody you down, Sheriff. Come on now.
Nobody's going to do a thing to you.
You walk yourself, okay?
No, there's gloves there and everything now. Come on
We're
now.
going down, Nikki.
Gloves.
Where are they coming from?
That's from
Come on now.
that's from EMS.
No.
Keep going.
Now,
Keep going. Come on. You're all right.
Now. Y'all don't kill me now.
Nikki, we ain't going to kill you. We ain't
The sheriff was escorted to the basement of the courthouse, where a transport vehicle was waiting to take him to the Leslie County Detention Center, about an hour away. In the courthouse hallways, and later during the transport, the sheriff remained in a state of panic, pleading again and again for his former colleagues not to kill him.
Hey, don't lay out. Come on. You're all right, mate. No, it's hot in here. We're gonna get out here. Come on. So, Mickey, was this anything to do with your daughter? Just a yes or no. I mean, was this anything to do with your family?
During the ride, his colleagues tried to ask whether this had anything to do with his daughter, but no answer was ever given. Former Letcher County Sheriff Shawn "Mickey" Stines has pleaded not guilty to the murder of District Judge Kevin Mullins. Inside the courtroom, prosecutors played the surveillance video, the same footage showing Stines inside the judge's chambers moments before the shooting. A motive still hasn't been officially disclosed. Since his arrest, Stines has been held without bond. Prosecutors are seeking the maximum penalty for killing a public official, while the defense insists he isn't a flight risk and continues to push for bond. Defense attorneys say Stines was in an active state of psychosis and unable to understand what was happening. They've also suggested that the charge should be reduced from murder to manslaughter, arguing he acted under extreme emotional disturbance, not premeditated intent. One police officer testified that Stines told him he feared for his life and believed someone was trying to take his family away from him.
I was told that Sheriff Stines had tried to call his daughter, and he had tried to call his daughter from the judge's phone also. He was mostly calm, I thought. I mean, I talked to him, but he didn't say nothing about why this had happened. But he was calm. He was kind of afraid that basically all he said was, "Treat me fair." That's basically the comments he made.
Okay. Did he also make a statement about, I didn't see it in the citation, you're somewhere along the line I saw a statement being attributed to him about protecting his family?
I wasn't present, but when he was taken into custody, I was told by one of the other officers that were there that he made the comment, "They're trying to kidnap my wife and kid."
The case remains in pre-trial. Motions over evidence, venue, and bond are still being argued, and no trial date has been set. For weeks, the question has echoed through the small town of Whitesburg. Why? Why would a respected sheriff walk into a judge's chambers and pull the trigger on a man he once called a friend? Those who knew Sheriff Stines say he loved his daughter more than anything and would have done anything to protect her. Stines had posted a lighthearted lip-sync video with his daughter, performing to the song, "I Shot the Sheriff." At the time, it seemed like nothing more than a goofy father-daughter moment, but now it feels haunting. In the courtroom, one officer testified that Stines told him he feared for his family, that someone was trying to take them away from him.
And he had tried to call his daughter from the judge's phone also. We were there that he made the comment, "They're trying to kidnap my wife and kid."
When he sat across from Judge Mullins trying to make that phone call, perhaps he believed the answer to his fears was already on that phone. During the ride to the detention center, one of the officers tried to reach him, asking if any of this was because of his daughter or his family.
So, Mickey, was this anything to do with your daughter? Just a yes or no. I mean, was this anything to do with your family?
Was the shooting a desperate act of protection or delusion? Others point to signs of a mental collapse. Pastor Michael Clark, who spent the morning with Sheriff Stines delivering food boxes, later testified that Mickey seemed anxious, almost distracted. He told the pastor he was being reassigned to a distant area, a location outside his usual route, and it made him uneasy. Just hours later, witnesses would describe him as distant, confused, barely aware of what was happening around him. His defense now claims he was in a state of psychosis, a man lost inside his own mind. If that's true, then the shooting may not have been an act of rage, but of insanity. Another theory paints a darker picture. Judge Mullins had a reputation for giving second chances, often sending defendants to addiction recovery programs instead of prison. But some insiders claimed those programs weren't as noble as they seemed. Funds meant for rehabilitation may have turned into personal profit, a web of money, influence, and backroom deals hidden behind the courthouse walls. Pastor Michael Clark had faced past accusations of financial misconduct, and the man seen in the judge's chambers that morning, Darrell Fields, was a recovery advocate tied to court-funded rehabilitation programs throughout Letcher County. If Stines discovered irregularities or corruption in that system, his confrontation with Judge Mullins may not have been about madness, but about betrayal. And then, there's the most disturbing theory of all. Months before the shooting, two women, former inmates, accused Judge Mullins and others in the courthouse of sexual exploitation. They described a system of sex tortion, where female inmates were allegedly promised favors in exchange for sexual acts. One of them claimed to have seen a video of the judge with a young woman inside his office. Another said powerful men in law enforcement were involved. If that's true, then Sheriff Stines may have believed he wasn't confronting a friend, but a monster. A former inmate and recovering addict has come forward with troubling claims about the late Judge Kevin Mullins. She says he used his position of authority to pressure women into inappropriate relationships, suggesting that cooperation could bring more favorable treatment in court. Taya Adams recalls first crossing paths with Mullins when she was still a teenager and he was serving as an assistant Commonwealth's attorney. What began as an unsettling connection, she says, later escalated once she entered the justice system as a defendant. She remembers visiting his office under the pretense of learning about legal procedures, only to experience unwanted advances. Over time, she describes being drawn into gatherings where she and other women felt cornered, afraid to say no, worried about losing their cases, or even custody of their children.
If you're sick and using, then you keep their secrets. I did his desk in his chambers, and I went over there to learn to take a deposition that evening after work. And he was there by himself, and he did not teach me how to take a deposition. I ended up giving him with my shirt pulled down, and he threw money in my face. And you just go see him. Just go to his chambers. Whenever as an inmate, when you're in jail, they would bring you up. They bring you up to the chambers from jail. It varied. Sometimes it'd just be you, sometimes it'd be a couple more.
According to Adams, women from the Letcher County Jail, located beneath the courthouse itself, were sometimes escorted upstairs after hours for these alleged encounters.
And then after that point, that's when he started introducing me to his friends, the other lawyers, and we would do parties and perform shows and have with them for money. Different cabins. There's an apartment down like toward Thornton that they would use that's got like mirrored ceilings and a bidet and a sex swing and all the things. No, and they would make sure to make you feel as small and degraded and belittled as possible to take your power away, you know?
Adams believes Stines was not directly involved in the misconduct, though she suspects he may have been aware of it. "I think he knew," she said, "but one thing I can say, he was never inappropriate with me."
Not to my knowledge. I think he knew, but one thing I do know is he was never inappropriate with me.
The Kentucky Administrative Office of the Courts has denied receiving any official complaints about Mullins. In fact, they note that the only allegations on record came from Mullins himself concerning misconduct by court staff. But Adams is not the only one making these accusations. In December, another former inmate, Sabrina Adkins, told state investigators she had also seen disturbing behavior. In a recorded interview, she described witnessing the judge in a compromising situation inside his chambers. When asked how she was certain, she replied, "I had stood before him in court. His face was unmistakable."
But he does have some videotapes of some stuff in the judge's chambers.
What kind of stuff?
Just with girls sexual and stuff.
What describe? Have you seen the videos?
I've seen one partly, and just him having sex with girls for their bail to get out of jail.
Who was having sex?
Ben and just some higher ups up there.
Who?
The judge and.
Now you saw the video.
Yeah.
What did you see on the video? I mean, you.
I mean, I've seen Judge Mullins have sex with a girl.
Who was the girl?
I don't know, because I don't know a lot of people from over there.
Where was it at?
In his office, in the judge's chambers.
Is that the same place that you were meeting Ben? Is that how you know it was a judge in chambers?
Yeah.
And this was Judge who?
Mullins.
But you don't know who the girl was. But you just saw the judge.
Right.
Do you know for sure that was the judge?
Yes.
I mean, how do you know that's the judge?
I've been in front of him. His face is pretty clear on there. Like I said, my only goal is to make sure this don't happen to somebody else. I struggle with it real bad.
This is a statement given by Sabrina Adkins. She claims that Deputy Ben Fields promised to help her with a GPS ankle monitor because she could not afford the cost and did not want to return to prison in exchange for sexual favors. Those encounters, she alleges, later took place in the judge's chambers. Deputy Ben Field has since been accused, or reported in media, of misconduct. One of the sheriff's deputies, Ben Fields, was alleged to have had a sexual relationship with a female inmate inside Judge Mullins' chambers. That revelation has fueled claims of a broader sex-tortion scandal within the courthouse walls. Was Sheriff Mickey Stines a hero? A father who tried to protect his daughter from a system he believed had become corrupt? Or was he a man consumed by paranoia, spiraling deeper into fear until the line between right and wrong disappeared completely? The truth may never be known. The courthouse surveillance tells us what happened, but not why. And in the quiet halls of Whitesburg's courthouse, the echoes of that day still linger, a reminder that even those sworn to uphold the law can sometimes lose themselves to it. Was Sheriff Stines a hero or a man who lost control? I want to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comments. Choose your next video. If you enjoy courtroom drama, brilliant attorney moves, abusers getting what they deserve, or other compelling cases, stay with us and watch your next video.